One of the problems with GDP is it's an average. Now, on the surface, that makes sense. If you have a lot of wealth for a few people, or a lot of wealth spread over a lot of people, it's a big difference, right? But the problem is, when you measure an average, you don't know if most of the wealth is going to the top, or if it's spread evenly. So GDP could be going up, and the number of billionaires is going up, but the number of poor people has not come down.
এই সবাই খুশি হন, আপনাদের গণনায় অনেক পারছে।
GDP only looks at one side of the balance sheet. It only looks at gain, not at loss. So if you have a disaster, whether natural or man-made, it's good because we don't count the destruction of people's homes or businesses. We only count the production of new buildings. So we should be happy when there's a flood or a fire or a big accident.
So what's wrong with you?
My husband got an accident. The motorbike was broken and he's in the hospital now.
Why are you sad? That's great news. So you have to buy a new motorbike. Husband's medical care is going to help pay for doctors and nurses and pharmaceuticals. You should be happy. GDP is going up.
In the world according to GDP, only things that we buy have value. If it's free, it's worthless. So if I grow my own vegetables and feed them to my family, chemical-free, lovely, healthy food, it's not worth anything. It doesn't contribute to GDP. If I buy junk food, even though it's going to cause disease, that contributes to GDP simply because I paid for it. Hi!
Hi.
So did you grow all this stuff?
Yes, I did. Aren't they beautiful, fresh?
It's from your own plants.
Yes.
So it's worthless.
What?
These? You bought, yeah?
Yes.
Great, she bought them from the store. She paid money for them, so these are valuable. They're bad for the health, they're bad for the environment, but who cares? These have value. This is all worthless.
Huh?
When we measure GDP, we don't count household work, unless it's paid for. So what happens? If you take care of your own home and your own family, it doesn't count towards GDP. But if you pay someone to do exactly the same work, then it counts. And that leads to some very crazy results.
কার বাচ্চা এটা?
প্রতিবেশীর।
প্রতিবেশী। তোমারটা কই?
আমারটা তার কাছে।
তো তার কাছে বুঝলাম না কিছু তো।
তার বাচ্চা আমি পালি আর আমার বাচ্চা সে পালে। দুজন দুজনকে টাকা দিই।
তো এতে তোমার লাভ কি?
এক অর্থনীতিবিদ বলেছে তো জিডিপি বাড়ে।
হ্যাঁ?
This obsession with GDP completely distorts our values. So we could have someone who's producing something really destructive. An arms dealer is considered to be positive. He's doing something that increases GDP. And the people who do the work that really matters to our daily survival, people like farmers or housewives, we treat as if they're not important at all. When we do that, we get a very skewed value system.
আপনি কি করেন আপা?
Tobacco advertising director.
ও, তারা তো অনেক টাকা আয় করেন। দেশের প্রতি আপনার অনেক অবদান।
তা তো বটেই। তা আপনি কি করেন?
আমি রান্না করি, ঘর সংসার করি, বাচ্চা কাচ্চা পালি, এই আর কি।
ও, তাহলে তো কিছুই করেন না।
না, কিছুই করি না।
GDP, it looks at production and it looks at money. And it gives us the false idea that if something costs more, it's worth more. So a gun costs more than a carrot, the gun is more valuable. Friendship and compassion are free, so they're not worth anything. But we know that's ridiculous. Just because something costs more does not, of course, mean that it's worth more, right?
মামা, একটা ভালো দেখে কাপড় দেখান। ভালো কাপড় নেবেন? দেখেন। কত এটার দাম? 500 টাকা। 500 টাকা। যে ভালো কাপড় নাই?
আছে আছে, ভালো লাগবে না কেন? চলুন।
দাম কত এটার?
এটা 1000 টাকা।
1000 টাকা?
1000 টাকা।
না এটা প্যাকেট করে।
Under GDP, the environment has no value. If you have a healthy forest, lots of different kinds of trees and wildlife and birds, it's worthless. But if you cut down those trees and sell them as wood, even for very little money, then GDP goes up. So GDP, the focus on GDP is disastrous to our environment.
এইটা কি আপনার গাছ?
হ্যাঁ আমার গাছ।
তো কেটে ফেলেন।
খেতে হলে লাভ কি?
এইখানে রাখলে তো লাভ হচ্ছে না। আপনি কাটে বিক্রি করবেন বাজারে, তখন আপনার লাভ হবে।
Since the environment has no value, clean water running in rivers or lakes also has no value. So if we build a polluting industry next to a clean river and we dump the chemicals in, it's good. GDP goes up. We don't count the loss of our clean water.
এই চাচা, আপনি কি চিন্তা করতেছেন? ময়লা আবর্জনা দিয়ে আমার পুকুরটা নষ্ট করে ফেলাইতেছে। তো সমস্যা কি? কাজ করতেছে, অর্থনীতি বাড়বে, এমনি তো পরিষ্কার পানির কোনো দাম নাই। এ পাগল নাকি?
Since GDP is all about production, we don't want things to last a long time. GDP goes up when people keep buying new things. So you have a phone, don't keep it for more than 3 or 6 months, buy a new model. So we take resources out of the ground, we build this phone, we use it for a little while, we throw it away. We buy a new phone. That's great for GDP. It's not so great for our environment. In fact, GDP is a way of turning resources into trash.
You call this a phone?
Yeah.
Oh, come on. This must be at least 6 months old. If you don't get a new phone every 3 months, how is the economy going to keep growing?
You should go get a new phone too.
Oh,